Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the second match of the Six Nations 2024. This one, Italy at home, taking on the English. Now, quite a new look England side compared to what we saw last year. The Italians, a few other new names scattered throughout there as well, but this is going to be an entertaining game. We've just recently seen the first game of the Six Nations. This is the way that the table sits. As you can see, Ireland sitting top of the bunch with that points differential of plus 21, having a fantastic win over the French in Marseille. Gets them the full 5 points available. But looking through at the starting lineups for Italy and for England. Fischetti at number 1 with Lucchesi at 2 and Cesarelli as the number 3. Cannoni and Rusa will be the 4-5 combo. You will see quite a familiar lineup to what we saw for the Italians throughout the Rugby World Cup competition. Sebastian Negri at 6, Michel Lamaro at number 7, and also Lorenzo Cannoni as the number 8, Garbisi at 9, and Garbisi at 10, Polo Garbisi there as the fly half, Monticello in the midfield alongside Juan Inacio Brix, Montigiani out on one wing, Lorenzo Panni out on the other, and Tommaso Allen there at number 15. Then for the English, they've got Joe Marler, Jamie George, and Will Stewart as the front row, Mario Itoje, as well as will be Ollie Chisholm at 5, Roots at 6, Underhill 7, and Ben Earl, number 8. I'm having a shocker with names at the moment. By the way, it is 3 a.m. here in New Zealand, so it might take a little bit for my brain to wake up, seeing as we recently got out of bed. Alex Mitchell at 9 with George Ford at 10, Dingwall and Henry Slade in the midfield, Elliot Daly, Tommy Freeman, and Freddie Stewart. Now, I actually said about the new-look England side. Now, this actually looks pretty familiar to what we've seen for recent times. Courtney Laws, main player who's not available in this Six Nations. Alongside him, we also don't see Owen Farrell. This backline, I think we're going to see quite a few changes be made throughout the Six Nations competition. A lot of men with the potential of making their debut. But for now, England going with what they feel could be one of their stronger lineups throughout the Six Nations comp. We have got there in the chat morning. Says Yvonne, welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. And Hamish, what's up? What's the plan for today? How many live streams? Says Coding. Well, the original plan was to do this one, the next one, which is Wales versus Scotland. And then we were hoping to do some of the New Zealand-South Africa test match. And then the ODI between West Indies and Australia. Now, if I lose my voice at some point, of course, that's going to make that very difficult. But hopefully it sticks around for a majority of the day anyway, and England will smash Italy. Says Happy Face Man, and I'm hoping for a decent game, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those contests that if Italy are up for the challenge, it can turn into a very good game. But if England manage to dominate early, the last game that we saw the Italians play, they did lose 60 points to 7. That was because France started firing from the get-go, and they couldn't really find themselves getting back into that contest, Italy. Now, they had a few rough games of their Rugby World Cup. Their best, of course, up against Namibia in the opening contest, where they did win 52 points to 8. Unfortunately, up against Uruguay, they struggled 38 points to 17, getting beaten by New Zealand 96-17. And then that French game, like I said, 60 points to 7, not what they wanted throughout their Rugby World Cup campaign. They were always going to be in the tougher group, but sure, they'll want to win like they had over Japan in the August internationals. I believe there was actually a Rugby World Cup warm-up game that they did get themselves the 21-point win. Now, the reason I mention that 21-point win is if they somehow won this game by 21 points up against England, now that is definitely a task in its own right, because even if they just win this game, that is a massive achievement. But if they can somehow do that, they would actually tie at the moment in terms of Ireland at the top of the Six Nations. But England, they will be chasing a very big win. They were able to beat Argentina twice throughout their Rugby World Cup campaign. The first game that you cannot see is the one that they went head-to-head with the Pumas, and they didn't allow the Pumas to score a single try. Now, that is significant here, because if they can keep Italy from scoring tries, they're going to run away with this contest. But they did beat Argentina 26 points to 23, having that close game of the semi-finals up against the South Africans. Now, a lot of people thought England were going to walk away with that victory. And I think that that is probably a fair call, because right down to the wire, they were in the contest. But South Africa, they know how to win and they managed to get the job done. Now, England also beat Fiji in the quarterfinals. It was down to the wire, but England got the job done. Same with Samoa's game. They have had quite a few brutal battles, the English. Actually, their last 4 games all being split by less than 7. Do Italy fall into the same caliber as these opposition? We are about to find out. But England away from home as well, I should mention, although that did not seem to impact the Irish in the way that they played when they took to Marseille's field. Are you going to cover Crusaders versus Munster today? England 51, Italy 7. Says Happy Face Man. Sadly, Crusaders versus Munster does take place at the exact same time as Wales versus Scotland. They've done it terribly in terms of scheduling, which does mean, sadly, we'll only be able to cover one of the two, and we are doing the Six Nations fixture. But I should mention, we are going to keep you guys updated with what the score is throughout that Crusaders-Munster contest, and I'm definitely going to be watching a replay of that one as soon as I get the chance. But it looks like both teams just about to make their way out of the tunnel. And what is quite a thin tunnel. It's lucky the doorway is a bit wider, or else maybe Lamaro and his teammates would not fit through it. Very strong running forwards. But up against an English side that I actually thought would have more changes than it does, I think this is going to be a quite tricky contest for the Italians, and it does get more tricky for them as the Six Nations goes on. Next week, they are going head-to-head with the Irish. Then they've got France. So they've actually got their 3 biggest contests, some would argue, first off the bat. Then also that game up against Scotland, and then closing out with a game at the Principality. Not an easy draw for the Italians, but if they can pick up one win along the way, we've got to remember last time Six Nations took place, they only had 1 point. So if they can get any more than that, I'm sure I'll see just that slight improvement. And also we have got their 6, Maro, please. Is that Maro Atoje you want to see at 6? He is playing at 5 for this game. At 4 with Ollie Chisholm. At number 5, bold prediction for me, Italy to win by 3. And also I'm glad I'm not the only one horrified by the scheduling. Says Yvonne, it's a massive shame. And I do hope that that Crusaders-Munster game does well, because that is our window into a Club World Cup. If that gets a lot of attention and a lot of people say it was a great game, then the Club World Cup or like multi-competition games could be a thing in the future. But because they've put it on at the same time as the Scotland versus Wales game, straight away you've taken away 2 audiences. You've taken away the Scottish and you've taken away the Welsh. You've also taken away Six Nations fans who will be watching the Six Nations instead. So, you know, they've kind of hurt themselves in regards of the timing of the game. I would have loved to see it just outside of the window of the Six Nations, even if it was a tomorrow game, you know, a Sunday afternoon in the Northern Hemisphere or a Sunday night, just to have it somewhere that isn't already occupied by rugby, because, yeah, there's a lot on. That's for sure. We've already seen a whole heap of Super Rugby preseason games. They have also taken place. I think Warren Gatland can make a good All Blacks coach in the future. I don't know, really. I feel like Warren Gatland, like, the good news about a coach is you don't really have a retirement age, if that makes sense. Like, yes, eventually you get to that point, but I feel like Warren Gatland, you know, there's still time. It depends on what happens with Razor and the Kiwis, what they can do over the next kind of 3 or 4 years, whether they need a new coach first of all. But Warren Gatland, he's always had a good rugby mind, and I feel like he does that quite well. He was thrown a pretty tough task with Wales, and I think he was handling it very well throughout the Rugby World Cup. And come on, Italy, says Gareth, and also Italy going to cause an upset, says Justin there as well. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, of the 3 games that are taking place today, we've got this one between Italy and England. We've got this next game between Scotland and Wales, but we've also got that game between the Crusaders and Munster. Of those 3, which game are you looking forward to the most? Do let me know. Interesting 30% or so think Italy can win. I think it is highly unlikely. I give them a 2% chance, says Icarus there. And Gatland should coach USA and get them ready when they eventually host the World Cup, says Justin. Yeah, that's the thing. 2031, it sounds weird to say, but it is actually closer than we think. Or it's closer than I think. Anyway, I remember when we were saying about it being about 1,050 days away from the Rugby World Cup taking place. And then, now we're here. we've had a World Cup. We're working towards 2027's World Cup, which is only about 3 and a bit years away now. And Wales versus Scotland, says Yvonne there. And the Crusaders game I'm looking forward to, says Happy Face Man. And there as well. Yeah, it should be an entertaining day of rugby all around. Like I said, we are covering both of the Six Nations fixtures, but keeping you guys updated with that Munster versus Crusaders fixture. And then we've actually got a little bit of cricket that we will be covering in the future as well, which is going to be at about 11 a.m. This sleep schedule is going to be brutal. I think I get a 2-hour sleep in between matches. That being the cricket and the rugby. I'm English, so I'm looking forward to this game the most, but Scotland versus Wales should be a cracker. Says Akaris. What you make of the Irish performance? I think it was extremely strong, and they honestly dominated France in most departments across the field, which, to be honest, people didn't really expect. Like, yes, they thought Ireland would have a good performance, but they didn't expect them to win by 21 points. For some reason, on that live stream, I had a whole heap of hate comments. I don't know why, but people were saying, I don't know if this is just the, in general, analysis of the game, because I don't remember saying it, but apparently Carl Dixon helped Ireland win. But Carl Dixon did not give Ireland 5-6 tries in that contest, and yeah, it's just a really weird scenario. I think it was 5 tries in the end, but apparently I don't know if it's the French fans are saying that the referee helped Ireland, or the Irish fans are saying that the ref helped them, but that was weird. It was like all these new random people we hadn't seen before were all saying the same thing, which was the ref helped, but he didn't. And that was just the comment section pretty much. A lot of them I don't even think you can see on YouTube because they had so many bad words in there that YouTube wouldn't allow them. I was the only one who got to see them. 44-24 in favour of England, says Eric. And good to see you again, Kiwi lad, says Scott Miller. It is good to see you too. Now, Scott, I know you used to have a picture of a big fish. I can't tell if you've still got a big fish in your picture, but have you been fishing lately? Do let me know. And if so, what have you been catching? And can't wait to see Ireland take on the All Blacks in autumn. Come on, Razor, says Happy Face Man. And there as well, but we have currently got the Italian and national anthem. If Gardabisi passes more, could be close. His kicking isn't good for territory, says Eric. The ref did not help. Exactly right. That's what I tried to explain to one of them as well. I said the penalty count was actually against Ireland. So if the ref was trying to help him, he didn't do a very good job, because Ireland was still the more penalised team, and they were just the more clinical, the team with more possession, the team with more territory. They look like a side going for back-to-back Grand Slams, and they were my pick from the start, and I'm still backing them to go on to win the Six Nations. And morning, afternoon, evening all, says Mimania. Welcome in, mate. You are doing extremely well. We have a good there. Well, I think the Irish had the bounce of the ball in their favour. However, the Irish were deserved winners, in my opinion. Says Akaris, and I'm Welsh. Can't wait to see Wales win tonight. Says Lewin, and of course we will be covering that game on the channel as well. But the Italian national anthem has been sung, and boy are they fired up. They always are, though, when they make their way onto the field. I talked about it yesterday during that Ireland versus France match. When you're up against the Italians, you have to take passion out of the game, because when you give Italy a situation where they think that they can win, and it doesn't have to be much of a scenario, but just like, you know, a couple penalties, one in a row, couple kicks at the post, maybe even a try, all of a sudden Italy play a whole different game of rugby. Now, throughout the Rugby World Cup, not many sides gave Italy that feeling of they're going to be able to win. But if they can do that here up against England, up against an experienced England as well, it's going to be a chess match for a start. And I think it's going to be the question of, can England win this game by a large margin, or are we going down to the wire? Good afternoon, everyone, says Geta. Welcome in. And hi, Hamish. I'm back to watch some ruggers, or some runner-up rugby come on Italy, says Mo. And why aren't France constant in their performance? They are always blowing hot and cold, says Happy Face Man. Well, a lot of people are trying to say it's down to the fact that they don't have Antoine Dupont, but we've got to remember, France throughout the Six Nations, with the exception of the game that they lost, they didn't have Dupont either, and they were going decently. Now, they were up against a lower caliber opposition, some would say, than Ireland, when you look at some of their games, such as Namibia, such as when they were head-to-head with the Italians, Uruguay. That game up against New Zealand, once again, very tightly contested one. Easily could have gone either way when you look at some of those top sides of the Rugby World Cup. Benetton much tighter this year. Says Eric, and that is true. Benetton actually sitting pretty decently on the URC table at the moment. If Italy bring on their Benetton game, the Poms will be in for a rough ride, says Mimania. Yeah, well, I think the majority of this starting lineup is a part of Benetton's team. So that might be a little bit of a factor that plays into the Italian hands, the fact that they'll have that chemistry, although England still going with quite a similar lineup to what we have seen in the past. And like I said, they have got a huge amount of debutants who can get a debut throughout the Six Nations. Not too many getting the chance in the starting lineups anyway for the English. Now we are just about ready to go. The Italians will be kicking off from left to right. We are ready to go. I want England to put 50 points. Anything less, I will consider it a failure. Says Happy Face Man. I mean, you're a brutal man, but England will be thinking the same. Well, maybe not so much that it would be a failure. They'll just want to put on a lot of points and take first place off Ireland after this first round. And already within 9 seconds, we have a penalty in favour of England from Paul Williams. I think that was Lucchesi. Ended up trying to drag that one down. Clearly a maul. Now George Ford will be able to kick this one towards the touchline. A man who I felt deserved more opportunities throughout the Rugby World Cup. They decided to put Farrell back into the starting side, even though Ford was proving time and time again that he deserved that jersey. The way that they were able to shut down the Argentines and George Ford throughout that game of the group stage, he was responsible for every point that was scored of the 27. And hey, howdy, hey, yo, hope you're all well, says Scrumless. Welcome in, go Italy. As well from Katie. And go England, says Happy Face Man. Good low tackle made in the midfield on Ben Earl. Now Alex Mitchell digging for the ball in the breakdown. Nice passing from England. Gets it away with Freddie Stewart. Of course, quite a few injury troubles for the English as well in the build-up of this contest. No Marcus Smith. Just to name one who maybe could have found himself with a fullback role again. Similar to what we saw throughout that Rugby World Cup. Nice short pass from Ford. Gets it away to Ollie Chisholm, and he is tackled well by Cannoni, and he will win the penalty for the Italians as well. We've got the English flag there from Happy Face Man, or in fact the GB flag, and also the Italian flags from Scrumless. But great work there. I think it was actually Federico Rusa who managed to get his hands on the ball. England not releasing, and the Italians, they are kicking for the corner here. They want to be aggressive early. Even though, I mean, 55 metres the kick would have been, which I feel like is still within the Italian goal-kicking, I guess, distance. But it was a great tackle by Federico Rusa. And no, it was Cannoni who got onto the ball. They were showing Rusa after it took place, but it was in fact Lorenzo Cannoni. Lucchesi now. Lucchesi, I should say, sorry. Going to be throwing this ball in. The rolling ball has started for the Italians. Mara Itoje slowly trying to work his way through the middle, but it hasn't worked as of yet. The ball is available for Garbisi. Now short pop pass up to Manoncello. Back across to the left-hand side. Sebastian Negri. And you can see England are just trying their absolute hardest to cause disruption at the breakdown, stop the structure that Italy are trying to create. Elliot Daly takes that ball in behind off the grubber. Not sure if that was the best option there for the Italians early in this contest to go for the kick in behind, but now it is being rolled back by Alex Mitchell. It's the ball up high and come on. Says Happy Face Man, the British Lions are going to beat the Aussies 3-0. Says Happy Face Man, and also the Italian flags from Katie there. But a nice territory gain of 31 metres off the Alex Mitchell kick there for the English. Like I've said, Alex Mitchell, there was a bit of an injury concern for him as well with a leg injury, but luckily has been able to start this game, nicely thrown in by the Italians on the halfway line. Big run from Manoncello again, who was tackled by Ford. Now to this left-hand side. In fact, they've switched it. They've got the advantage as well. Montiuani passes in behind to Masso Allen. There's going to be 4 Maro Itoje being penalised for offside. Man, they're advertising the crap out of this Argyle movie. I think I know the one you're talking about. I can't remember the trailer, to be honest, but it's the one that's like also made by Kingsman, or like the ones who did the Kingsman movies, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, I honestly can't remember a single second of that trailer, even though, like you said, it's been advertised 1,000 times. Yeah, I can't remember it. I feel like if I saw, I'll probably get it as an ad on YouTube in the very near future. And now Tommaso Allen. You're the one with the cat. I think it's the same people who did Kingsman. Says Katie. Distance, 58 metres for Tommaso Allen. So, not exactly an easy first kick, but Allen does normally make them look easy. Oh, it's actually 40 metres out. They have definitely got the distance meter wrong there, but that is going over from Tommaso Allen. Still impressive nonetheless, but the Italians with a 3-0 lead over the English. Remember what I said before this contest. Giving them a chance, giving them 3-pointers is all Italy need to bring that passion to the next level. And, I mean, that's not the start England were after. They've actually found themselves more inside of their own half than they would have expected. And all it takes is one penalty, one turnover. Nice big hit there from Tommy Freeman. He slapped that ball back in the breakdown, but he was not allowed to. So it does become the penalty against the English again. Let's go Italy, says Krampus. Yeah, it's like they're shoving it violently down our throats, says Crumlass. Well, hopefully it's a good movie then, if it's been advertised so much. Either that or they've just put all the budget for the movie into advertising rather than the movie. We have got Josh in the chat with the Italian flag. Now they are going to be kicking this one towards the touchline, Italy. And it does go out. Very good kick down into the English half again at 7 a.m. here. I'm still asleep, says Scrumless. I know that feeling. Currently 3:30, oh no, not quite 3:30, but about 3 a.m. here in New Zealand was when I woke up. A bit before that because the stream started at 3. You can see what I mean by the brain not quite switched on yet. Alex Mitchell, stolen line out for the English. Now go off to Ben Earl. Does get taken down well by Mikel Lamaro, the captain. The ball was lost there by England. Might have been a partial knock on, but referee says we are playing on. Joe Marler now with his first contact of the Six Nations. Mitchell back into the pocket to Ford. And does manage to get the ball high, but very, very fast charge down attempt we saw there from the Italians. Tommaso Allen has been able to regather the ball. And it's available for the Italians. And Hamish, as usual, on fire. New Zealand should set their clocks to the same time as everybody else, says Gromas. I mean, we could. It would just be dark at the wrong times. The only thing with that. And the closest Italy have been, or have got to England, are 2 results where they lost by 7 points in 1995 and 2013. Interesting. See, I don't know why, but I feel like this matchup to me seems like at times it could be closer. Not to say that that is discounting anything that England do out there on the field. But it just, you know, it seems like Italy eventually would have been closer. If that makes sense. And England there from Happy Face Man. Oh, there's Eddie Jones watching on. And this is just in case Japan end up sacking him. Just like the Wallabies should have. And English need to step the stops out, or pull the stops out, get their growl back in nocturnal New Zealand. It's well, the Kiwi here in New Zealand, our national bird, is nocturnal, so why don't we be as well? We'd actually get to see the Kiwi if we were awake during the night. That's the experience here for Super Rugby and the Rugby Championship. Lots of 3 a.m. watching. Says Gus. Yep. Huge amount of it. And shot of Eddie Jones. Says the May 5. Looks like we've already seen some strapping on the head of one of the Italian players. Which, of course, is not ideal. You don't want to be busted open in these early parts of the match. Normally they keep on bleeding throughout, definitely with all the blood pumping. Crowd are currently absolutely packed. It's been talked about a lot, the Six Nations attendance for each of their games, bringing in around 65,000 on average, or 60,000 it might have been. And we have got there, I wonder how long till the first yellow, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. Hopefully we don't experience too many yellow cards throughout this contest. Ideally, we want to see it be 15 versus 15 for the whole match. At least that way we will get the best indication of where the teams are, I guess you could say, stylistically and matching up together. Starting pack, England have the 913 kg 4-pack, whereas Italy, a lot lighter, or around 30 kgs lighter. That one's gone down in the front rows. 881 kgs coming in for the Italians. And Eddie Jones should have never been the coach of Australia in the World Cup. Says happy face man. Yeah, I feel like Australia now know that. Unfortunately, though, it cost them a World Cup. It cost them their lowest ever finish. And Australia Rugby, you always try and find some sort of positive, right, in a bad scenario, or at least I do. And I think the positive that we've got is, like, Australia, they can't get any worse for one. But it's probably the wake-up call that they needed to change things in Australian rugby, because they've needed to for a long time, and Eddie Jones pretty much just broke their system and made them realise, okay, maybe we do need to think about it a little bit more before we throw millions of dollars at random people and hope that they're going to turn our rugby round in a week. Joe Schmidt, I feel like he is actually a very decent option. We've seen what he's been able to do for Ireland, for New Zealand in the past. Hopefully he can do the same for the Wallabies and get them on the winning track. Now cross kick attempted from Paolo Garbisi. Monty Ioane chasing after it, doesn't quite get the bounce of the ball, and he's going to be forced into touch by Tommy Freeman. Just ran out of space, but already Garbisi trying out the cross kicks, going with the unorthodox play here up against the English. And hey, Gus, that's going to be some exciting moments in this game. I know it's going to be a long shot, but come on, Italy, let's win this one, says Richard there as well. And the only good union thing in Oz right now are the women's sevens team, says Mimania. And to be fair, the men's aren't doing too bad in the sevens department either. Like, they're getting runner-up in the last two legs of the sevens. I guess for the women's sevens side of things, we saw Ireland win their first ever women's sevens title, which is absolutely massive for them. And I feel like that just shows that the sevens world is also just getting a little bit closer. English player, I think Ethan Roots has had his pants pulled down by Cicerelli. Not ideal. Are you going to be watching the Munster Crusaders game that's on today? We are indeed. We're going to be doing a little bit of a watching two games in one go, but it is now going to be rolled back by Alex Mitchell just outside of the 22. What is happening to England? Says Happy Face Man, very good question. They have been struggling early. Monty Ioane cleans that ball up nicely for the Italians. Now Garbisi this time going off to the right-hand side, trying to pierce through that defence. And great flat pass. Canoni now breaking the line. Lorenzo Canoni, that is. Rough pass to Garbisi, but he still picks it up. And the Italians with Alejandro will score the try, that being Garbisi. And Crusaders says Ruth. Crusaders says Stuart. And England is being dismantled due to the Great Reset, says Crumpus. And England haven't had their lamb today, says Happy Face Man. But Italy are going to be up by 10. Now, I just want to make sure that there wasn't a knock-on in the build-up of this try, because I feel like there might have been for Alejandro Garbisi. Now, if there wasn't a knock-on, it's going to be an easy try here. It's just whether or not whose hand... No, that's a knock-on. That's a clear knock-on. I'm not sure why Garbisi still celebrated that as much as he did, if this is as clear of a knock-on as I think it is. We need it from the other angle, though. Yeah, that's just hit his hand and bounced forward, has it not? They're showing the try again. Do we? No? They've just kicked it over. It's 10-0. They've got till the restart to intervene. Was that not just straight off? Did that come off his balls or something? Or like his inside thigh? Was that not off his hand? I mean, it's a great try for Italy, don't get me wrong. But knock on? No? Just me? And Bulldogs need their gravies with chops, says And come on, England, says Alan now. Knock on, no. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was a clear and conclusive knock on from BC. Like, we didn't see an angle that showed it from the right angle. They showed it from the side where there were players in the way. But then Brett Cronin, the TMO, has time that he can look at that from all angles and make a decision. He hasn't made the decision. Surely that was just a bad use of camera angle and it wasn't a knock on, but I swear that was just straight off his left hand, slapped down, picked up, and scored. I honestly don't know what's going on. And try says scrumless. They have come out with their tails up, and yeah, now that they're 10-0 up, they're feeling good. Oh. Right. More changes. Oh, okay. An Italian debut was about to take place. She's the fastest winger on the field here. I mean, Daly's still pretty quick, but I'd probably give it to Monty Ioane if I had to. In terms of Tommy Freeman's lightning fast though as well. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. I think there would be some very good foot races, but Garbisi, the try scorer, is now going to roll this ball back. But I can't believe we didn't see that from the other angle, to be honest. Like, I'm not discounting the work that Italy did there. Beautiful passing and also great inside ball from the big man. But yeah, I'm surprised. This is probably the best way of describing it. But Italy, they're 10-0 up after 13 minutes. Now England looking to fire back directly after they conceded. Good run forward from Henry Slade in the midfield. Gets it away to Ben Earl. I want a refund, Hamish, says Grubbers. Well, luckily you didn't pay me any money. Or else if you did, I would probably refund you because, yeah, not ideal for the early stages. Now another big run from Earl. Mitchell going off to the right-hand side. Elliot Daly, flat pass there. I have to say this running game of rugby, already with 14 minutes through, I think it is going quicker than the match between Ireland and France, but that is only due to the fact that this one has had a lot less kicking and more running forward, less stoppages, just flat-out play from both of these sides. And now England have got themselves the penalty advantage after 10 phases. Now going back for the penalty. I think England have to kick for the corner here. Let's all sue the Six Nations. Says Crumpus, and I thought the offload was forward. Says Geza, yeah, I thought that, England are taking the 3. Okay, I'm getting very confused by this game. But there are pigeons next to the goalpost as well. Just a fun little fact. They probably saw the knock on. And saludos a Santiago de Chile. And go Italia, says Jorge. And come on, England, says Happy Face Man. Yeah, in off his feet for, I believe that would have been Canoni. Now it should be a nice, easy conversion attempt. Don't be the kicker. Says Geza. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Italy are, but George Ford, he won't mind. He's used to being booed. Because a lot of people think, number 10, England must be Owen Farrell, we'll boo him. But then George Ford, different man, of course. That one has gone over with the assist of the post. 10-3. I was about to say something about an assist for the Italian try too, but I did not. I held back. I am behaving myself. 15 minutes in though. 10-3. And they continue building here for the English. They are 7 points down. And like was mentioned earlier on from, I'm just going to quickly make sure I say the right name. I think it was Akaris ended up saying about how normally these games are not split by 7 or less, only really having that 7-point margin for the Italians, last time being 2013. They are inside of the 22 now, England, their own that is. Alex Mitchell, told to use it by Paul Williams. It's going to be kicked towards the touchline, and it does go out about 45 metres. Alex Mitchell, that is something he does quite well. Like, he doesn't look like he gives it an almighty heave, but he gets his angles very good. So always with his clearing kick from that 22, getting down to at least the 40 metre. Just showing Ethan Roots there. Big chance for him. A ball is thrown in, nicely taken by the Italians, and now Lamaro breaks off the back. Garbesi, short ball to Cannoni. Knock on, ref saw that one. Going off to the right-hand side, breaking the line was, in the end, Freddie Stewart. Now back to the left-hand side to Benel Maro Itoje. Thought about the offload option, but does instead take it to ground. Did seem like the safer choice. Now passed out wide. Here comes the big man, Ethan Roots. They have both knees taken out from underneath them by the Italian 4 defenders. Now 38 metres out. Alex Mitchell almost going through the gap, but here comes Lorenzo Cannoni. Great clean out on him by Maro Itoje. Go the English, says Roof there. Big shot on Freddie Stewart. At least defence so far looking solid throughout the first 18 or so minutes. Marler, his second carry. Alex Mitchell thought about going for the kick. I think Freeman was actually in his way, so he wasn't able to, but it almost set up an attacking opportunity on that right-hand side. Do you think Eddie managed to beat his eggs this morning at least? Says Paul. I'd like to think so. Eddie Jones, he's actually at the game scouting. He probably wants the England job back, to be fair. He might. Well, I don't think he'll get it. Borthwick's got it pretty well handled. That's a great kick. Although, that ball's just going to keep on rolling. But it does not go dead, which means that Italy do have to force that ball, and it will now be the goal line dropout. And England are getting tested, says a happy face man. And who's the kicker again? Yeah, it is George Ford for the English, and then Tommaso Allen for the Italians. And there's still lots of time. Let's go. See, here's Ruth. Only 18 minutes in. Almost a quarter of the way through this contest. Already 10 points to 3, the lead for the Italians. Now, theoretically, if Italy were to either win this game, or if they lose it by less than 7 but they score 4 tries, they will already have more points in one game than they had across their whole Six Nations 2023 competition campaign. Now going back across to the left, here come England. Freddie Stewart, no, it was Freeman, gets it away to Daly. And England fire back and will get themselves the try. The assist goes to Freeman, who was a long way off his right wing. And oh, dang it. And it's Paul Williams, says Crumless. Yeah, different New Zealand day. And England are getting handed. There are, says Mimini, and they must have heard you. So the 19th try for Elliot Daly here. Tommy Freeman gets the assist. And England have to be patient. Then the tries will come, says Happy Face Man. Yeah, good attack and run from Ethan Roots up the middle. And then they shifted it away to the left-hand side. Some precise passing from the English. A gap opened up for Tommy Freeman, who thought he had enough pace to go himself. And to be fair to him, very, very nice pass from Tommy Freeman. A lot of young wingers would have thought that they'd still have a crack. But he got the offload away to Daly. And he managed to score it 20 minutes through this contest. And we're looking at a 10-10 between these two sides. Ben O'Keefe sipping champagne after a solid gold World Rugby yacht. Says Krampus, and also Kiwi Lads just still smashed it. Amish has a super smile, says Ruth. And they must have heard yes, says Mimania. And they'll be ahead of France too. True. Oh, when's the last time that's happened in the Six Nations for Italy to be, even if they lose this game by less than 21, they'll be ahead of France in the Six Nations table. Lovely kick to the left and nice and wide, says Paul, although it has drifted just a little bit right off the kicking tee of George Ford, so that will leave the score sitting at 10 points to 8, still in favour of the Italians. I don't know about other countries, but here in the USA, some people hate 4 cars. The joke is, are found on road dead, says Crumlass there. And sir, are you college, university student, sir, says Akash? I am not, no. I do work alongside, this is more of my hobby, so that I do work during the week as a builder, believe it or not. But I played cricket yesterday, which was quite fun. To a very low quality team, says Stephen. Do you have anything good to say ever, Stephen? Like, what's your favourite food? Surely you've got one of those, Stephen, or it's all food bland. It's going to be kicked into touch. Very decent kick from Alex Mitchell. And hysterical scrum last Ford. Get into third gear, buddy. And today's my birthday, says Akash. So happy birthday. I hope you do have a very good day. Plenty of sport on. So whether that's cricket, rugby, you name it, we're covering it on the channel. Bring back Eddie Jones, England, says not Freddie Stewart, said Stuart Moore. And Italy are excellent. Almost as excellent as France, says Krampus. Stolen in the line out again by England. That is the second that we have seen now from the English that they've been able to steal. Although, in the breakdown, that wasn't too far off. Okay. KC has been told he's not allowed to go for that ball. Alex Mitchell having to find that ball. I think there's still... it was an English player lying on it, says Paul Williams, so that is why that ball wasn't coming out. I've been watching England for years. Never seen a good England team, says Stephen. It's going to be kicked off high and, not taken well. Knocked backwards for England and actually knock on from the Italians in the process. Now Will Stewart, I think this is his first carry of the match. And Italy are really working hard in every breakdown, trying to get those little opportunities to turn the ball over. Now George Ford goes back to Daly, bumps off the tackle attempt of Alejandro Garbisi, the try scorer for the Italians. Ollie Chisholm goes across to Marla. England are rubbish. They only won one World Cup. My cousin's first boyfriend had a Ford escort, says Roof, and now I'm 19, says Akash there. Half an offload chance for the Italians. They are really getting put back into their 22. Can you cover the Wigan versus Penrith Panthers game for the World Cup or World Club Cup? It's on the 24th of February. Is that the one where it's the winner of the the NRL versus the winner of the Super League? Happy face man. It's going to be the penalty there going against Ethan Roots for hands on the ground in the breakdown. Come on, Bulldogs, bounce it. And Italy will win, says Akash. And there as well. Yeah, early hands on the ruck penalty against Ethan Roots. Not what he would have been after. Yep, Super League versus NRL. Says Geza. Is there a cup for this match? Oh, I'm not actually sure. I don't know why, but between these two sides, I seem to envision a shield or like a plate. No, I'm not sure, Paul. Maybe there is a trophy involved. A lot of these sides do have little miniature kind of heads. Yeah, please, anyone say me who won Australian Open? Cup of pasta, says Grumpus. I assume that's Capuzio, who's just popped up on the screen. No cup for this match, as far as I'm aware, says Akaris. Is there one for Wales, Scotland next game? Only a cup of Peroni, says Mimania. And this is where England overtake Italy. Italy have worn themselves out in the first 10 minutes, says Roof. Although something that really drives the Italians is passion. And when they think that they're in with a shot, and at the moment I think they will more than think they've got a good chance of going far in this contest. So that's the kind of thing that will keep them going. One football or one World Cup in rugby, cricket and football. We are very good at losing. That's a positive perhaps, says Stephen. I mean, I've never met a sore loser from England, so that's a good thing. Line out throw for the Italians. It's going to be thrown in over the top. Boy, that's not going to be taken cleanly by Juan Ignacio Brex. LMAO says Scrumless. We always lose, says Stephen. You guys won the Ashes a few times, though, just not recently. On the cricket side of things. Wait, one World Cup in rugby, cricket and football. So it's one across each sport, isn't it? Because they've, of course, beaten New Zealand in the Cricket World Cup final in the ODIs. England should have scored by now. Says Heavy Face Man, and Amish's commentary is fantastic. Nothing else comes close. Says Roof there, but now the rolling maul for the English just inside of their own 22 here. And the famous trophy they plan for called the Wooden Spoon, says Gordon. I feel like we perfectly assisted it in that direction for you, didn't we, Gordon? It was right there for the taking, and you took it. And Scotland versus Wales is the Donny Weir trophy, says Geza. Now Italy. I'm going to shift this one to the right-hand side. Nicely taken again. Garbisi to Garbisi to Juan Inesio Brix, and now the Italian backline will fire once more. They've got numbers on the outside, inside ball from Monticello to Tommaso Allen in Italy. There's no knock on in that try, and they have scored their second now of the match. What a try, says Ball. The only England game where there is a cup is against Scotland, the Calcutta Cup, to commemorate the first ever international rugby game, says Akaris. And also we have got there, come on Italy, says Stephen. And also look at the All Blacks, they put 96 points on Italy, says Happy Face Man. And currently the Italians, that was just a thing of beauty, that try, cutting through this English defence. And like I said, it's not that different of an England team, but Italy at the moment seem to want it more. And the coaches are absolutely loving it as well. After scoring their second try in this match, they have once again got the lead of 7 with the nice easy kick to come. Look fragile, but man, they taste good, says Fluffy. Still confident England will smash them. Those Italian pigeons, they work for the mafia, you know. Says Grumlets, the pigeons better put up pigeons put up a better defence than England. Yeah, there was just too many gaps. One in Asio Brex though. Great offload. He was almost tipped above the horizontal, unless you mean a memory of her. Says Mimane, England have 5 new caps over, says Krampus. No Tuolangi. Yeah, but overall, like, in the starting lineup, who's Dingwall? We haven't even seen Dingwall yet. And then Ethan Roots. I think they're the 2 starters who are debutants. But still feel like they would have wanted to be putting on a much better performance than they're having currently. I'm afraid England will wear down Italy. Biased linesman in 1966, corrupt officials and cheating by England in the cricket final. And we only win when we cheat, says Stephen. 2003, though, was a clean win in the World Cup, wasn't it? Johnny Wilkinson, drop kick. It's going to be slapped back by the Italians, but it does go into touch, so England will actually have an attacking chance on the 22. Very New England team, Amish. Says Krampus. I think the bench is where we're going to see a lot more debut opportunities. 28 minutes through this game already. It is flying by, ladies and gents. And Queen Rock Group says Roof there. And shame on England, says Happy Face Man. Although now Freeman has probably been the pick of the backs at the moment for the English. Even though Elliot Daly did score that original try. Alex Mitchell going off to the left-hand side. Big run from Sam Underhill. 12 metres out from the line now. For the away side, England, Joe Marler sold the dummy as if he was going on the outside and almost stolen in the breakdown from Kanoni. Chesham. 5 phases in a row here for England. The Italian defence is rushing up, and in fact, they rushed up too early. So because of that, they have given away the penalty advantage. Mitchell back across to the left. Jamie George to George Ford. There's a lot of George involved, but that is not George. That is Freddie out on the wing. Now Mitchell offload to Maro Atoje. 5 metres. Round the side, Will Stewart gets it within a couple. And I believe their advantage is currently over. Oh no, no advantage has come for the English. One of the pigeons is trying to get onside. Maro Atoje, short ball again. They're within half a metre now, England, of the try line. That's a dumb run from Ollie Chisholm. Tried to go right over the top and ends up giving away. Or in fact, gets held up and they go back for the original penalty. And there's going to be something delicious in that grass because the pigeons are here to stay, says Crumless. And Happy Face, the Italians have stepped up a few gears. The URC shows it, says Mimania. And do England's were favourites in this match, or Italy is strong? England did come in as heavy favourites. But rugby is a strange game, as Roof just said. And anything can happen. They are 5 metres out from the line now. England with the rolling maul chance. If they can take this one cleanly, we have seen 2 lost lineouts from the Italians of their 3 that they have won. And then 4-1 by the English, not having any mistakes at lineout time as of yet. Now they have to try and get this one right here for the Italians. Referee says, come on, boys, let's keep this thing moving. And almost as excellent as France. Says Krampus, and also scrumless pigeons are sharks. They devour everything. Says Ruth. And turn my back. 10 minutes, Italy playing well so. Says Yvonne, yeah, they've been doing very well throughout this first 30 minutes. It'll be a brilliant win for Italy, says Robert Wood, although now the rolling ball here for the English again is in play. They look to slowly march their way towards the Italian try line. They have about 6 or 7 men committed here, Italy, and it may not be enough as England get there a little bit closer. Looks like they're broken off the side. Jamie George has been tackled. Alex Mitchell at the moment controlling traffic just around the side of the breakdown. He's got some big forwards who want the opportunity to bust through the line. Although when you look at this Italian fullback and the men who are waiting next to the breakdown, you wonder whether or not that is going to be possible in just a couple phases. I think they're going to have to set it up a little bit better. Here they go, out there, back line, quick hands, short ball, some good stepping there. Freeman's got his pants almost round his ankles, but he's going to be dragged down 2 meters out from the try line. Brilliant defense from the Italians, keeping themselves in the game. Maro Itoje will be once again 1 meter out. Now Mitchell thought about using it himself, but he will leave it for the big forwards. I think they've got to go right. Oh, there was a knock on from England, but it becomes a penalty. Montiani was celebrating it till they realised that there was an offside. Nice bearing, says Fluffy. Pigeon Pie and Bongwater for halftime break. And Full Moon says they made 5 there. And England looked like if they had too much beers last night. Says Happy Face Man. The Italian number 2, I believe it was Lucchese, wasn't back on side. England once again are taking the 3 points. I guess that's beneficial as that will bring them within 7. And I feel like that's quite respectful of England in a way. Yes, they would normally take the 3 in most scenarios. But I think that this just shows that they know that Italy are in this contest and they know that they need every point possible to be able to walk away with a victory. Deep fried pigeon wings without feathers, says Ruth there. Interesting choice. And Chef's Kiss, is it possible for England not to qualify for the next World Cup? I think they were in the top 3 of their group, so no. No, they have automatically qualified already for the next Rugby World Cup. Now George Ford, line up this kick, and he has got it straight down the middle of the post, so that will make the score 11 points to 17. I'll proceed directly to the Bongwater. Thank you, Chef, says Fluffy. And no creativity in the English play. Well, that was the perfect opportunity for them to shift it right, as it was probably about a 4-on-2, but instead one of the big forwards went round the side of the breakdown and knocked the ball on. And tonight we drink from the bong, says Crumbless. And KFC Zinger Pigeon Wings. I didn't end up getting pizza last week, ladies and gentlemen. I know that no one probably cares, but I talked about it all throughout the weekend. I was saying, I'm going to get some pizza, and then never ended up actually getting pizza, which was quite sad. So I feel like at some stage in the next couple of weeks, I will try and get a pizza. Just random information. Rugby was the winner on the day. Says Lightfoot. I worked at KFC. The Zinger Pigeon Wings isn't far from the truth, says Fluffy. And Beto Keep gives everyone PTSD. Now, nice run forward from Sebastian Negri. And they will look to go high by the looks of this. Arisi has been told to use it. Trying to roll this ball back. Looked like he didn't quite have the same channel that he was after, giving England some beef at halftime. Going to be kicked high from Garbisi. Chasing after this is Pani, but he hasn't taken it cleanly. Freddie Stewart, very good under the high ball, and has proved that time and time again. Flavy, wait, what? Says Bimania. And also to Joe's in Castle Island. And also Italy, says Akash. Good driving tackle made on Will Stewart. Now Alex Mitchell, he will be the man who has to roll this ball back. And I can't believe how slow England are playing. Says Happy Face Man. Well, I think they're trying to have them a kind of more methodical approach in this game. But unfortunately for them, Italy at the moment are well and truly up for the task. Although George Ford has kicked that one in behind. I think he's got too much on it again. And it's going to roll very close to dead, but just pulling up in the in-goal area once more. And seriously, don't get any KFC from South Dunedin store. There's Fluffy. That is good to know, because I'm actually going to KFC. Well, I'm not going to KFC, sorry. I'm going to Dunedin in 2 days' time, I think. Yeah, on Tuesday, New Zealand time. Going to be heading down to Dunedin for the first time in about a decade, so it'll be an experience. England still recovering after their loss to the Box. So here's Robert Wood. And like James Lowe's kick last night. So here's Geza. Now nice run forward from Ben Earl. England still have another attacking chance with 5 minutes remaining in this half. Sam Underhill. Newer faces in that loose forward trio, at least for this season. Ben O'Keefe has wrecked more minds. Says Krampus. Now back across to the left-hand side. Joe Marler getting heavily involved throughout the last few phases of this contest. Now nice inside ball was almost attempted by George Ford. Decides to hang on to it just for now. Alex Mitchell goes for the kicker behind and does put it into touch, and they will go back for the original penalty. Are you doing the Crusaders game? Sadly, it does overlap with the match between Scotland and Wales. And I don't know why the Six Nations, or in fact, I don't know why they decided for their other game that it would overlap. Like, it could have easily taken place tomorrow with no problems whatsoever, but because it overlaps, it means that we are only able to do one game. So in this case, I believe we are doing the Six Nations fixture while also keeping you guys updated about the score in that one. The Box should be ashamed of their semi-final performance, says Stephen. And game's getting interesting here. England will once again take on the 3 points. It's not the prettiest rugby, but getting them back into the contest. Okay, thanks, says Stuart Moore. There as well. But yeah, it's a massive shame, because it's one of those games that if there wasn't a Six Nations fixture on at the same time, there would be so many more people watching that Crusaders Munster contest, because it is the window into a Club World Cup or some sort of multi-club competition that could come up in the future, similar to the Champions Cup, but maybe we see the New Zealand sides head to Ireland, or the New Zealand sides head to Japan like we saw, although those games were a bit more one-sided than we would have liked. That kick has gone over from George Ford, now making the score 17 points to 14 after 37.5 minutes. Len McDonough's alone, you brutes, says Fluffy. And England should be going for tries instead of 3 points, says Happy Faced Man. So Fluffy, Dunedin, if you're talking food, where's somewhere good to go? Other than, of course, like you said, the KFC. At the Pigeons, we're sweeping heads like Magpies right now. Totally different game. Says Scrumless. And also England should be going for the tries instead of the 3 points, says Happy Faced Man. Yeah, I feel like at this point, to be honest, like they need a bonus point from this game. Whether they win or lose, they need 4 tries. And maybe they don't think they can get there, so instead they are going to go for more of that methodical win, bringing it down to the wire. New Zealand sides will dominate. If there was a World Club Series, says Happy Faced Man. Hello, Hamish. Hello, everyone, says Mikhail. Welcome in, mate. Now going off to the left-hand side, Italy. With 2 minutes remaining, they will be the team who more than likely has the last attack of the half. Menoncello, nice run forward, straight at Ollie Chisholm, who has taken him down. Now the ball's going to be put high by Paolo Garbesi. Pani chasing it again, tries to slap it back, but it's going to be Elliot Daly who gets his hands on the ball close to the touchline. Just keeps it. Another fielder play, Paolo Garbesi again. Go with that left boot. Nicely taken by Freddie Stewart. Got a relatively big boot of his own. Looking for a bit of territory, and he has done so well. Italy now only 10 metres out from their own try line, and Garbisi has to look towards the touchline. Doesn't manage to find it, though. And now chance for Tommy Freeman, who is going to be flying down the wing, doing some very good stepping along the way, but Italy almost able to get that turnover. Bold statement, happy face, says Mimania. And pop round to be Mum's Hamish. She'll make you a roast, says Fluffy. Well, I do enjoy a roast, but it depends on the time of the day, I guess. We want your mum having to cook a roast at like 3 p.m, I wouldn't think. And England world class, says Lightfoot now going off to the left-hand side. Skip pass out to Elliot Daly. The chip and chase there It doesn't quite sit up for him, but Italy will end up with this ball. They've got 20 seconds remaining of the half before they can kick it into touch. Going off to the left-hand side. And New Zealand side's, oh no, I read that one, didn't I? What's your final score prediction? I actually went 38 points to 38 to 18 or 38 to something like that. To be honest, right, it's into the red. They can kick the ball out, Italy, and at halftime they are ahead. 14 points for England, 17 for the home side in Italy. You tried English roast beef? I have not, no. And good job, Italy, you filthy fools, says Crumless. And roast is good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, says Crumpus there. But at halftime, who would have predicted it? At the moment, Italy are ahead. Which, interestingly enough, if England even score 3 points, they will have the same points as France. So, points differential-wise, I think that a lot of teams are going to be ahead of France after round 1. But I think that France will play the catch-up game and slowly keep on making their way up. What do you know? Yeah, we don't. Says Mimania. Don't be scared to get those pretty faces shredded, says Grumless. I predicted it, says Jimbo. I think you said Italy by 3, didn't you, Jimbo? If I'm not wrong, maybe. But yeah, great start to the match. And geez, Chihuahua roast legal, says Fluffy. Where was that? That was from Stephen. My local coffee shop was closed down for killing dogs and pretending it was chicken. Well, how did people not know the difference? Like, have you tasted chicken? Like, and then I haven't tasted the other one, but you'd assume it's similar to some of the other, you know, more gamey meats rather than white meat, for one. We have get there is who, or is about who defeat England, says Francesco. And Six Nations is not about who win. And also spaghetti twirlers. And also Bulldogs to Maul spaghetti twirlers in the second half. And very true, Francisco. And also, not to go off topic, Hamish, did you see Joseph Parker, or did you see Joseph Parker defeating Deontay Wilder? I did. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing, really, because he just, like, I was waiting for Deontay's power to come in that fight. And when it got to about round 7, I was like, it's coming. Soon he's going to start throwing. He never started throwing. But then, like, Joseph Parker, I feel a bit bad for him because he's done all that hard work just to have Francis Ngannou pop it and take the main event off him in the next card. I think it's Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. To be honest, I thought that maybe Joseph Parker could have taken on that Anthony Joshua fight. Perhaps that's one that he'll get in the future. But, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that he gets another co-main. Be watching the Six Nations Netflix series, and you can tell me, or you can tell that Italy are done being wooden spooners, says Grumlass there. And I picked a 20-point win for England. Not a chance, really, says Eric. And Parker deserves a rematch with AJ. I agree. I feel like that fight up against Deontay Wilder, the way that he pieced him up, and yes, some of it could have been down to the fact that Deontay did not throw throughout that fight, but Joseph Parker, he did what he had to. He did and made do with what was in front of him, and he still, like, yes, he didn't knock him out, which maybe would have helped. If he had knocked him out, then possibly they would have said, yep, you get that big fight, but they've gone with the more powerhouse in Ngannou. Currently, territory at the moment is in favour of the English, and also possession, 66% for the away side here, but Italy have been the team who have scored the more tries. They have got themselves 2 in total, the first of which being scored by Alejandro Garbisi, and the second being scored by Tommaso Allen. Then, attacking minutes, we've seen an extra 3 or so minutes of attacking time for the English. How old is Parker? Seems to have been around forever. I think he's only 30, Joseph Parker. I think I saw the other day, and I was like, what? Oh no, 32, which is even still, like, I swear I thought he was like 38. Whereas this match being played, it is being played in Italy for this contest at the Stadio Olimpico. And a Borthwick lost. His first match is coached for England. Just because he can coach Leicester doesn't mean he can fight England. Fight me, says Grumless. Italian I'm going to throw in some extra hot chili spaghetti for into this spaghetti for the second half, says Miminea. I mean, to be fair to them, they've started this match exactly how they needed. They got the early try. They got themselves in the contest. Halftime, like at the end of the day, they will tire a little bit in that second half. It's going to come down to their benches as well and see what kind of bench has more of an impact for the English. They've got Theo Dan, Alice Genge, and Dan Cole as the front row replacements. Then they've got Coles, Cunningham himself as the other two forward replacements. So a chance of a couple debuts off the bench here for the English out of their overall bench, where they have Danny Kerr, Smith, and Fiu Waboso, the last man off the bench. For the Italians, Nicotera, Spagnoli as well, or Spagnolo, I should say, Anzalochi, Zambonian, and Zikor, Zuliani, Avani, and Mori, the last man off of the Italian bench. But meters carried, we have seen England carry an extra 200 meters over the Italians, 430 for the English compared to the 237 for the Italians. Meters gained. What's the difference? Meters gained compared to meters carried? I guess that's if you're carrying the ball when you've thrown it back more. So meters gained is 226 for the English. 12 defenders beaten for England compared to the 3 defenders beaten that we have seen for Italy. Defensive numbers are pretty strong on both sides. 93% of tackles being made by England compared to the 91% that we have seen made by the Italians. But they have made 116 tackles, Italy. So that has to wear on the gas tank just that little bit. Penalties conceded, 5 against the Italians, 4 against England. So overall pretty even on paper and pretty even on the scoreboard as well. Morning Kiwi lads, just tuned in, plus everyone else. How you doing, Crusaders? Munster games, says Blues Nate. Sadly, it does overlap with Wales versus Scotland, which I am absolutely gutted about because we were going to be covering it on the channel. But what we will be doing is we're going to be doing that Wales versus Scotland while also keeping you guys updated with what is happening in that Crusaders versus Munster game. And enjoying this game, says Happy Face Man. Yeah, it's a lot closer than a lot of people anticipated, which I think is a massive bonus. England bench to win it. Genge to score the winning try, says Jimbo. And there is on Italy will not win second half, will not go for them, says Joseph Weber. And Morena Massis, how's it going? How's the far now? Says Blues Nate there. Yeah, second half, 40 minutes. That first half flew by. I had to say it almost felt half the length of Ireland versus France's first half. Now, that's nothing against the Ireland versus France game. I feel like it's just because of the free-flowing nature of this game. I think, have we seen a scrum? We've seen a scrum, haven't we? Set piece. Scrums won. We saw one Italian scrum throughout this game. One. We should have seen one for England as well after Italy did knock that ball on from Garbisi. But, yeah, just the one scrum. I don't think we've had a game with just so little scrums in such a long time. Uncle Boss, good to be here. Says Blues Nate. And Six Nations has been good so far, says Shay. It has been. I feel like as we build through the competition, some of these other games are going to start to get a little bit closer. Only one scrum unusual, says Geza. Yeah, I can't even remember that scrum. And I don't think it was it wouldn't have been a penalty or anything like that. I think it would have just been a straight in, straight out. Thanks very much for coming. And tall or short, Jones got the boot. Says scrum less and Italy are scared to scrum England, says Crumpus. Why is that though? Because they've won the one scrum that they had. England have not had a single scrum feed yet in this contest, but that does not mean it won't change. In the second half, of course, they have got the one try to their name. It was Elliot Daly who was able to score it. The rest of their points coming from 3-pointers, getting the 3. So far, he will not win the 2027 World Cup, bruh, says Joseph. And it's Thunderstruck time. Do you cover the World Under-20 Championship, says Happy Faced Man? We haven't much in the past. And when tiredness kicks in is when you get handling errors, says Geza. Because England are notoriously strong at scrum. Come on, Hamish. Says Krampus there. Yeah, but Italy, theoretically, England have to drop the ball, or Italy have to drop the ball for them to get the scrum. I wouldn't want to meet Genge in a collapsed scrum, to be honest, says Fluffy. Poor defence by the Pigeons. And also, we have got Morena Ruth from Nate there as well, but not too far away from the second half starting for this contest, ladies and gentlemen. We are, of course, going to be covering that Wales versus Scotland game that is just around the corner. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Can we get a roll tide? What is a roll tide? I feel like I should know what that is, but then at the same time, I also feel like maybe I shouldn't know what that is. What is it, Pate? Do let me know. And Pigeons need to go back and learn rugby fundamentals because their defence line was bad. Says Grumless. Springboks getting ready again for 2027. Says Joseph Weber. It's going to be interesting. In Aussie, of course, we are going to get to see plenty of action throughout their World Cup. Great time zone for us here in New Zealand as well, I do have to mention. And actually not too bad for you guys in South Africa, I don't think, because it will be early morning games more than likely. And cheers for University of Alabama. Brother, I'm sourced as listening to you. You're the GOAT, says Tom Reed. Well, thank you very much for being here, Tom. Greatly appreciated. We are going to be here, of course, for that next game that is taking place between Scotland and Wales. Should be a good fixture. And Brown will get down to the Springboks, says Joseph. And also Bugger looking forward to Lee Halfpenny Satyrs, or debut for the Satyrs. Plus Alex Nankerville at Munster, says the Blues Nate. And also Pigeons have main character syndrome. Nah, I love you, says Tom Reed. Well, thank you very much, Tom. And it is great to have you here. The question is, will you remember being here once you aren't sourced? I hope the Baby Blacks win the Under-20 Championship. France are current world champion, says Happy Face Man. And also, Lee Halfpenny is going to the Crusaders. He certainly is, which is quite cool. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how he ends up going when he gets his opportunity. Now, I should mention, he is going to be playing 15 up against Munster. Also in their backline, they have got some very capable players. I'm interested to see Kamara at 10, though. Hey, I've been here for the Australian Championships, brother Sober. I suffer a reason, says Tom Reed. And there's also, it is greatly appreciated. To be in here, everyone is home, says Krampus, and not many Pigeons around South Dunedin, KC, for some reason, says Fluffy. Who do you think will win the 2027 World Cup, bro? I think we're too far out to really be able to tell. Because, like, at the end of the day, 4 years or 3.5 years is a long time in the world of rugby. We could see so many retirements. We could see so many new players bursting onto the scenes before that next Rugby World Cup. So, yeah, it will be very hard to say who makes their way through. Only we have got the advertisement for the Australia versus West Indies ODI. Now, we are going to be covering that on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you want a marathon of a live stream, be sure to check that out. I hope you're getting some good, some of the ad revenue today, says Gus. As you guys know, money made off the channel, we put straight back into the channel. So I am just getting the sleep deprivation and the thrill of doing these streams, or the enjoyment of doing them, I should say. But at some stage, there is a setup change coming. You guys probably won't notice, mainly because you'll still see the green screen behind, but we might be in a different room very soon. Maybe. Fingers crossed. And those Pigeons struggle with Dewey Bears. And also how you're always so nice. Your energy is crazy, says Tom Reed. That's a good question. I have no idea why I have so much energy at random hours of the night, to be honest. Because, like, I don't drink coffee, so I don't have caffeine. Like, I just have water, and that seems to keep me going. So I don't know what's in the water around here, but it seems to be pretty good. Do you cover rugby league matches? Only some. We did a bit of international rugby for the Rugby League World Cup. Outside of that, we haven't done a huge amount of the NRL, though, mainly because it does directly overlap with Super Rugby. Hamish is still a young pup. Once he hits his 30s, the exhaustion will catch up. Yeah, to be fair, even since I've reached the age of 24, I've felt older. In terms of, like, I during the week, I wasn't even saying a sentence here, I was just making noises, but during the week, I'll notice if I don't get enough sleep. I just feel old. Italy and France are so excellent. Says Krampus and All Blacks will win 2027 World Cup. Says Happy Face Man. And also, come on, people, let's go. Give me the ads right big time. Hit that like button and subscribe. Says Ref, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. You all being here. Who you going for, says Tom Reed? I mean, people love an underdog. England, I think, do have plenty left in their tank, though. And I think that the second half, they'll really have to put their foot down and try and take control of this game, because that is something they haven't had throughout the first half of both sides now. Back out there on the field. Don't fear Hamish. Time kills everything. Says Fluffy, in second half about to kick off. Says Happy Face Man, it certainly is. Tommaso Allen being shown on screen, a man who scored in the first half up against the English. Should mention our next live stream, ladies and gents, will be starting at 5:30 a.m. New Zealand time. So that is in an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, be sure to give that one a look as well. Wales versus Scotland, assisted by us talking a little bit more about Crusaders versus Munster as it takes place. And imagine imagine France-Italy combined 15. It would be unbeatable or unbeatably excellent. Says Krampus. Hamish, it's the best mustache I've ever seen. I don't know about that. I feel like there are a lot better mustaches out there. If you've ever seen Don Fry from UFC, he's got a strong mustache. Knock on early on from the English, not what they would have wanted, and we're going to have a scrum. Just because I said that there was only one throughout the first half, now we get one in the first 20 seconds of the second half. Merv Hughes mustache, very good mustache as well. There are a few good mustaches around. And the Italian and French Lions. And who do you think was the greatest rugby team ever? Says Happy Face Man. I mean, there are a few that have done extremely well. I know that people would say the current era for the Springboks is doing extremely well. The classic New Zealand between 2011 and 2015. We have got there, words can't describe how much I love you. Holy, you're crazy for the times you do this stuff at, says Tom Reed. Yeah, we got a random sleep schedule, that is for sure. And some weekends we'll get like 2 hours sleep, but it is a lot of fun. At the end of the day, we've met a lot of cool people along the way. And I'm about to sneeze. One moment. We are good. I like how I was getting all sentimental and then hay fever kicked in and was like, hey, have a sneeze. Also, if you're wondering why you didn't hear it, I didn't mute. Just because some people are like, you didn't sneeze, you made no noise. Weird boy. Now to the left-hand side. England putting it back to George Ford. Just a bit too much on the kick. And the mark is called there by the Italian fullback. Use up a little bit more time. Morning, says Kurt. Welcome in, mate. You should be on New Zealand and Australia's time zone, shouldn't you? I feel like you're on the wrong sleep schedule at the moment. But I hope you are doing very well. Have you ever met up with people in your comments? Says Tom. I think I've met, well, ironically, I'm seeing someone in the comments in about 3 days or so, or 2 days in Dunedin. But I've met a couple people from the YouTube comment section, not so much on purposely meeting up in some cases. Like I got recognised at a supermarket, which was kind of strange because I was confused because they were kind of going, are you from the Kiwi lads? And I was like, wait, no, you don't know me. So I ran. No, I didn't ran. I took a picture with them. But, good ball on the outside. Tommy Freeman now going for the grubber and it just curves the wrong way. The bounce of the rugby ball is unpredictable and that one, unfortunately, has gone to the side. If you do meet them, take a Glock. And I am the Kiwi lads, says Crumless. But yeah, I also got given a kit, a Chilean kit, by a man who was visiting our town, who was a fan of the channel. Now it's going to be overthrown by the Italians. Hanoni takes it nicely 5 metres out from their own line. Mustache Superfab commentary, says Ruth. Now that one has gone into touch. England should have missed the try-scoring opportunity. Says Happy Face Man, although they've got another one now. Freddie Stewart trying to break through. shut down by Fixture. Already we've seen a much better England attack forming for the second half compared to the first. Although a lot of pressure coming in at each of the breakdowns from the Italian defenders. Now forward and behind. Nice quick hands. Look close to forward, but it's gone out wide to Henry Slade, who found himself situated out on that left wing. England will win, says Joseph Webber. And they need to score early, says Robert Wood. Yeah, they need to shut down this momentum that England are starting to create for themselves. They are only 3 points down as well. Now Alex Mitchell goes to the short side. Thought about the offload. He's going himself. 2 metres out. He's got back up and gone again. And he scores the try. Elliot, that's not his name. Alex Mitchell does manage to get it. You saved me from throwing up, so I appreciate it, G, says Tom Reed. You must have drunk quite a bit, did you, Tom? Hopefully the hangover is not too bad for yourself. And yes, England says happy face man. And Dunky says Joseph. And there's Colt's got to run. Come on, you Latin banjo players, says Fluffy. Nice link-up play for the English on that left-hand side. Mitchell had his options. Ignored Dingwall. Most people probably would because they don't know who he is. That's more like it. Says happy face man, but that is now the second try for England. That is the first time now in this contest that they have taken a lead. The English side has shown some grunt now, says Mania. And Alex Mitchell, a man who was in doubt for this contest of whether he would even be able to play, has now been able to get himself his first try of the Six Nations 2024. Lining up this kicker will be George Ford. Taking some deep breaths here. Getting ready to go. Come on, England. Open the floodgates. Says happy face man. And that kick is over. 45 minutes in. England now leading by 4. Got my grandpa's jeans ready to commentate tomorrow, don't worry. Says Tom Reed there. And come on, England, open the floodgates. Says happy face man. I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, the plan tomorrow, or at least today, I should say, New Zealand time, we have got a live stream taking place in an hour and 7 minutes time. That will be the game between Wales and Scotland. So be sure keep an eye out for that. Alongside that, after that match is finished, I think I get like 3 hours sleep. And then we are back for the test match between New Zealand and South Africa. We are going to be covering just the one session of that. And there was a 4 pass before that try. Says Jordan there. Although there was also a knock-on in the first Italian try that wasn't called. So I don't think they're checking for things in the build-up of tries throughout this match, it would seem. England playing soccer as usual. Another penalty. Won by England this time on the halfway line. They have completely changed the outcome of this game just in this last 6 minutes. They're looking a lot better, a lot stronger. I have 500 bet on England, says JP. And also Hamish the Waimate is Waimate's biggest tourist attraction, says Grant. I don't know about that. I feel like we got like wallabies. We got a white horse, like a big horse on a hill. It's not a real horse, I should mention. It's like a big like statue thing. I feel like that brings a few people around. What do you think? Or what did you think of the West Indies beating Australia? It was an awesome test match. We actually covered it on the channel. But then Australia got their redemption in that ODI series. We're going to be covering that match of the second ODI on the channel as well. That is the last live stream for the day. That'll be at around 4:30. And we are going to be doing about 8 hours of streaming for that match. So if you want to come see me slowly lose my mind, that live stream is the one to go to. Nicely stolen by the Italians, getting it right this time at line-out, and I believe that is the first time that they have stolen an English line-out throughout this contest. Now going to the left-hand side for the Italians, setting up in the pocket. And BC looking for the touchline, hasn't got the distance on it he would have liked. It's only going to be about 10 metres out from his try line. So England, even though they didn't get that original rolling maul going, they pretty much get that same opportunity now, just a little bit further out from where they were. Rassi, of course, says Mimania. Matt Short, best Australia player of all time, says Tom Reed. He didn't really get much of a chance, though, in that match up against the West Indies, did he? He kind of bowled 2 overs for 12 runs and didn't get a bat. So hopefully he gets more of a chance here, as well as Fraser McGurk. I feel like everyone wants to see that man bat at international level. They should have played him in the first match, but they went with all the all the test buddies and Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne. I feel like he would have been a good one to watch there. Now, nice pass out wide for the English. Freeman again trying to go through, but he's taken down by Pani. 15 metres out for the English. Continuing their attack. Good driving tackle made on Sam Underhill. Now Ben Earl goes back to fourth. The rush defence from the Italians isn't working, although this time the ball's popped out and it's going to be knocked on from Freddie Stewart. Picked up by the Italians. I think there was a knock on as well there. Yeah, there was. Double knock on. Fraser overrated, says Tom. Well, we don't know at international level, though. That's the thing. If he gets the chance and he doesn't do well, maybe he is. But until he gets that opportunity, like look at Xavier Bartlett, what he was able to do on debut, getting the 4 wickets. Like if he gets that chance, one thing's for sure, you know he's going to be trying to hit that ball as hard as he can. Can hit it though, says Tom Reed. Yeah, he still goes out to the good ball though. It's whether or not the West Indies, their young team, can find that good ball. So the second ODI, West Indies versus Australia will be high scoring, I think, in the SCG. Says Akash. Yeah, I think Australia will feel comfortable chasing, though, again, if they do end up winning the toss. Rod Stewart, do you think I'm sexy? Okay, Rod Stewart, I'm not... Oh, is that a singer? Looks like Freddie Stewart. Is that Stewart? No, that's Freeman. Oh, he's got that ugly black eye there by the looks of it, or at least the swelling under there. Only you see that in the UFC. Oh, it's his teammate's knee as well. That makes it worse. When you see the replay and you realise it's your own teammate, might have a fractured orbital. Tommy Freeman. And black eye, says Crumpus. I mean, it is the colour that his eye will turn. In this case, ruck speed, very good work from England so far, 62%. And also, why don't the West Indies test bowlers play in the ODI? Mainly because of resting them, similar to the Australian test bowlers. How none of those guys were playing in the first test match. Alzari Joseph will probably play in the second, but Shamar Joseph's back in West Indies. Now going to the right-hand side, Garabisi. Nice flat pass to Monty Ioane, who I feel hasn't touched the ball anywhere near enough for the Italians throughout this game. Rush defense from Ollie Chisholm. Almost misses the tackle, but hangs on to an ankle. Now ball still available for the Italians. Knock on again here. And England have managed to get the steal. So even though we only have 1 scrum in that first half, now we have had already 2 throughout the second cross kick from the English. No advantage. They will go back for the original scrum. We shall win, says Helen. If All Blacks were playing Italy, it would have been 50 points by now, says Happy Face. And in the SCG, first batting is better. Not like the MCG, where chasing is easy. See pitch report, says Akash. And if you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, tell me so, says Mimanea. I feel like that must be a quote from a song that I do not know. Saw Shamar in town after the Adelaide Test. He's a good man, says Tom Reed. Yeah, certainly changed that test match for the West Indies. Of course, England also pulling off the monumental upset, beating the Indians on home soil. First time ever that India have lost when having a lead of more than 100 in India. And now in the second test match, I think India lead by 171. So England in a bit more trouble here, but we will have to wait and see whether or not they can pull it off again. Shipper's rocking about a bit. Windy down here today, says Kerr. It's gone down. So whereabouts are you situated at the moment, Kerr? You must be right down at the bottom of the South Island, are you, if I'm correct? Maybe. Or not quite. I know that you go round the side, don't you? I don't rate Steve Borthwick as a coach. Says Happy Face Man. Yeah, it's an old Rod Stewart song. And Mamma Mia. Says Mundo there. Another scrum reset now between these two sides. Currently 2 tries apiece. So they are working their way towards a bonus point. Whoever gets the next 2 tries will get themselves that. Although it is also available for both teams, if they can both get 4. So who do you think is better in Australia? Or right now, Australia or India in test? Australia, 100%. Even though they lost to the West Indies, Australia still, I feel, are the more well-rounded side. And they did beat India in the most recent World Test Championship final. Big scrum there. Penalty goes the way of England. And unfortunately, the discipline in this second half is really hurting the Italians, who were well and truly in the contest throughout the first 40. England now just starting to take a little bit more dominance in their favour. They're having a shot at the post, though. They will be leading by the 7 if this kick does go over. Lucchesi has been taken off the field for the Italians. That is for Giacomo Nicotera, halfway from Sydney to southern tip of New Zealand, says Kerr. And there's our come on Italy. Hamish wants pizza. I really do. When I think about it, but Stephen Varney, he's going to be put onto the field now. Early change for the guard BC. Here we go. Ford to line this kick up. This will be from about 37 metres out. I would say for George Ford, he has been striking them nicely today, and he has continued to do so. That kick has gone over 24 points to 17. England now with a lead of 7. Waving to Roof from Kerr. And if the All Blacks picked their overseas players, they wouldn't lose any test matches. Says Happy Face Man. They picked their overseas players for the Rugby World Cup, though, and they did lose twice. Hamish wants French fries. That is also very true. Oh, a big bowl of fries at the moment would go a very long way. I haven't had breakfast either, so that would be very good. Should I throw up or keep watching you to sober myself? Says Tom. Well, I don't know what your normal process is for a hangover or like a big night out, but just make sure to drink plenty of water. This will save you from feeling absolutely awful. Well, it may not. I'm not going to say that it will. And same score as last night, says Eric, as a possibility. It could be. I think I predicted 38-15, 38-13, or 38-17. One of those three. And I can't remember what one it was. Or 38-18 I might have gone. I've got a bottle by my side watching you, brother. Says Tom Reed. And also, England still have time to get 50 points, but now another line out this time. Nicotera, almost stolen by the English, so I believe it will be a knock-on advantage, or at least it should be. I think that came straight off Chisholm's hand. And definitely 38-17, it's happening. Says Tom Reed, little bit of a handling error from Italy once more. And water while you're on the lash is key, says Gus. It's going to be another knock-on. This is rough for Italy. Or just get watermelon, it does a better job than water, in my opinion. I haven't heard that one. But I guess it's mostly water. I guess just don't choke on the seeds. We got a donation from Blues Nate. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. At this stage last night, all said the next score decided the game, and it did. Pizza for Hamish. Or is that the pizza fund, Nate? That's definitely going to go into pizza. I can tell you that right now. Bogan, should I try it? If you have watermelon available, if you don't have... Wait, do you have watermelon? Because if you do, maybe. Just don't eat the seeds. Or trying not to swallow them too much, because you might choke on them. Second half, seeing a lot more of the territory going in favour of the English. They just have really changed this game. And, you wonder whether or not it's just a part-time thing. And maybe Italy can find their momentum again. I mentioned they're a passionate team, so they just need a penalty going in their favour. I'll do it for you, boys, says Tom. Well, let us know how it goes. Now, back across to this left-hand side. Here come the Italians. Montiuani down the wing, 22 metres out from the English try line. Now moving up to 15, and Varney recycles quickly. Short ball stolen by England. One little chance, another knock on from the Italians, but it becomes their penalty. All right, they've got a big decision to make here. I think they have to kick for the corner. To be honest, you're not going to be able to chase down England with 3 points. Oh, but then they're within 7. It's a big decision. I would go for the corner if I was Italy, because worse comes to worse, If you go for the corner and you do manage to score, that is not the worst case scenario. Of course, that is the best case scenario. But then you're only one try away from getting a bonus point anyway. They're taking the 3. I can understand why, though. Garlic to keep those pesky vampires at bay. Is going to have 3 cheese pizza with extra garlic. That sounds very strong. I feel like the pizza I normally go for is, I'm a very basic boy sometimes, but I just go for cheese and chicken. Really good. Definitely late at night. Like when you're up at 3 a.m. and you have a cold piece of pizza. It's good. And England playing very negative. Says happy face man. Been good, bro. The old usual worked and fams. You in New Zealand, says Blues Nate. And try chicken kebab on a pizza. Interesting. Oh, it's missed. Now that annoys me because he had the chance of going for the corner and they didn't do it. And now the fact that they didn't do it means that they are still 7 points down. And will be tomorrow year. The next cruise around Australia, says Kerr. And yes, AM Pizza is the best, says Mikhail. Now 22 dropout for the English. Looks like Danny Kerr now making his way onto the field. That is for Alex Mitchell, who has had a very good game so far, scoring the try for the English. You like cold pizza and mangoes, Hamish? Your mouth is broken. Do you not like cold pizza, Grant? Okay, we're going to have to get a vote. Of course, we will commentate while it's happening, but cold pizza, yes or no, in the chat. Grant's obviously a no, but do let me know. Yes or no to cold pizza? Of course, it has to be cooked first, just to clarify. Now, England, again, will have the possession at scrum time. I think I jinxed it because I said that there was only 1 scrum in the first half. Now we're probably at about 6. Oh, no, it's a line out this time. No one likes cold pizza. Well, Katie said yes to cold pizza off the bat. Mexican chili minced beef with pepper pizza. I just got a Pizza ad. Prefer Pizza Hut, says Icarus. But do you like Pizza Hut cold, Icarus, the next day after it's been in the fridge? Oh, it's going to be a blue. No, never know. Cold pizza, anyone? So you don't like cold? Is it? Okay. Maybe it's not a common thing. I think it's pretty good. Cold pizza's like cold tea. Come on, mate. Is it? Some pizza's actually better cold because the flavours all mend together. Cold pizza's like cold tea. Although, I should mention the best cold pizza is just plain cheese pizza. But not thin crust. It's got to be thick crust, pan-based pizza. I really can't beat a team like this. Should they be in the Six Nations? Says Stephen. Yes, because it's the Six Nations. So they are one of the Six Nations. We've got another scrum feed now coming, this time for the Italians. Which has used up a majority of the second half. Just stoppages. I can't believe cold pizza is not a common thing, though. Just left and ate a bunch of watermelon. It's doing wonders, says Tom. I should have read. I prefer Pizza Hut, not I prefer hot pizza, not Pizza Hut. Says the Curtis. Cold pizza is the bomb. Used to be the Five Nations. And earlier, excellent and always improving. Cold pizza is like cold tea. Come on, mate. There's Cat. I feel like cold pizza might actually split opinions like pineapple on pizza. A little bit. Maybe. Now going off to the right-hand side, Garbisi. Cold pizza with hot beer, says Ruth. Hot beer's a weird one, isn't it? Or warm beer. Normally, you want a little bit of coldness in there. Nice run for from Paolo Garbisi. Italy again knocking it on. This is painful to watch. Every time they have an attack, they just drop the ball. And it's happened every minute of the second half. I never leave any to get cold. Says Jimbo. It used to be the Four Nations. And Georgia should be in the Six Nations instead of Italy, says Happy Face Man. And Ireland have the most wooden spoons in 5 and Six Nations history. Says Grumpus, and Italy are excellent. Says Stephen, yeah, just a knock on there in the breakdown from Garbisi. It has taken the wind out of their sails. They have made 137 tackles throughout this game, so that has also taken a lot of stamina out of the tank for the Italians. That's a hot one. Pineapple pizza can make wars, says Mikhail. Yeah, that is true. I think it's more serious, the pineapple on pizza debate. So these rugby players taste like cold pizza after a match. What do you mean by that, Ruth? And no, you ever said watermelon? I thank you, says Tom. And pineapple pizza is lush. And also, Italy are better at football than England, though. Says Stephen, but now another scrum feed, ladies and gents. It's been a very stop-start second half. And England won't mind that. That's probably more playing into their favour. Anything sweet in food is wrong. Do you like donuts, Mimania? Or like anything sweet on a savoury thing, maybe, is what... Well, that's still a donut, actually. Anything sweet on something that shouldn't be sweet, I guess. And hot pineapple. To defend okay, so you don't like cold pizza, but you like pineapple on pizza, Cat. Oh, his foot was very close to the touchline there. For Pani, referee says play on. Kick downfield. Henry Slade now off his left boot. Gives that plenty of height. Italy have had a lot of handling errors throughout the second half. They have luckily held on to that one. I used to not be a pineapple fan, but it grows on you, says Tom Reed. Yeah, I think all you need is a good pineapple. Like, sometimes they're quite sour and bitter, depending on the time of year that you have them, but if you get a real sweet one, you just love the stuff. Yeah, that some people even take pineapple cores and pickle them. I want to try that, says Scrumlass. Now rolling this ball back, it will be Stephen Varney. Puts up the box kick. That one's gone into touch on the halfway line. So another chance for an English line-out with only 16 minutes now remaining in this half. Pineapple and pizza is like not showering for taking whipped cream in the bedroom, says Kerr. Interesting analogy. I think it's the first time I've heard that one. But I can understand what you're saying, I think. England has a new team, says Trumpus. Still 16 minutes to go. I don't think Finn Smith will get on, says Eric. I mean, he is looking on eagerly. If England score one more try, I would say he will. But until then, I don't think they'll give him that opportunity. Vegetarian pizza is the bomb, only if it's cold, says Blues Nate. Currently, England having another huddle here. George Ford right in the middle. Trying to tell them how to win this contest. I think it was a water break as well for all the players. They don't really need a breather in the second half because they've had 15 breathers with the scrums that we have had throughout the first 24 minutes. I think you stick them in vinegar for a few weeks. Says Ruth. Says Scrumless. And I was like, yes, Scrumless, says Ruth. Jamie George now with the line-out throw. We go, time is back on. And Scrumless with some chili peppers. Nicely taken at the front by Ethan Roots. Rolling ball now. Coming for the England. Again. And so this scrum takes some water, says Tom. Danny Kerr looks like he's going box kick. Yes, he is. England's starting to go into a little bit more of a defensive mindset, I believe. Although if they get the chance to attack, they still need 2 more to get 5 tries throughout this match, which I think is for 4 tries. Look at there, it's 90 degrees in Rome today, in the depths of winter, says Stephen. And geez, England always seem to have a way of bringing the Six Nations to its knees, says David. Little chip in behind, ear swing. Just got a little bit of connection on it. Tommy Freeman picks it up off the turf after the Italian does grubber it just a little bit further. Ford now going off to the left-hand side. They have got the penalty advantage, the knock-on advantage there. No, it would have been a penalty, actually. And they're going back now for that penalty. I'm getting hungry now for 45. French toast for Bricky, I think, says Kerr. Nice. What about some French fries, Kerr? Any of those on the cards for today? I went time this year. Didn't get below 36, says Tom. I went to Rome this year, rather than time. And someone here said England can score at least 50, or they will consider England a failure. Where you at? I think that wasn't that Stephen? Maybe? Was it Stephen? I think it was Stephen, I think. And Kerr sounds good, says Gus. It's 35 degrees here, super hot, says Macau. But now George Ford, they're taking the 3, which is fair enough. At the end of the day, that will give them a lead of 10 points. I'd love to see England really put their foot down, though. This is a Six Nations that they will not win if they don't get bonus points throughout some of their contests. And this is their perfect opportunity to get that note. Didn't say they need a 50, says Stephen. Okay, it must be someone else very early on then. Maybe Icarus? No, maybe not Icarus. I had French rugby for supper last night, says Jimbo. Then let them eat pizza, says Krampus. Yeah, I'm thinking about pizza for about maybe Tuesday night. Might be pizza night. I like pizza. Gonna be kicked in behind. Nicely taken there by Ben Earl. Where's Wayne Barnes? Says Roof. Contested in the breakdown. Doesn't quite get it cleanly there for Nicotero, but at least gave it a decent crack. Looks like England are going to be putting up a kick once more. England need to try and keep the score down against Ireland and France. These two games will be very one-sided. And Tuesday's wings night, says Tom. And no scrum, no pizza. And we've certainly had plenty of scrums throughout this second half, that is for sure. Esekor is also off the field. Onto the field, for, I believe it was Cesarelli. Now Monty Ioane breaking through 2 tackles. Good low tackle made by Maro Itoje. Now back across to the right-hand side. Currently, the Italians, 1 try soon will get them back in the contest. And I should mention they only received 1 point throughout their Six Nations campaign in 2023. If they're within 7 here, they will receive the extra point. Also, I should mention, Smith is on the field now, getting the opportunity and a very good kick downfield from him. And good afternoon from an Irish pub in Oxford. Says, pleasure to welcome him, mate. I should mention we have got the game between Wales and Scotland just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Will be taking place in 45 minutes' time, or at least that is when the live stream will be starting. Alongside that, we will be keeping you guys informed about the Munster versus Crusaders game that is taking place. Fletching down at the lodge, but watching Average Good Lad, says, I was there from Gareth. And Ioane family versus Tuolangi family, who you got? I'll tell you what, it'll be a scrap and a half. I'll probably go the Tuolangis, though. I have to throw up in honour of you. Maybe don't throw up in honour of me, but if you need to throw up, just do it safely. And even if Hamish has forsaken us, we won't forsake him, says Gareth. Now 11 minutes remaining. This second half has had so many scrums and so many lineouts, I've lost track. But hopefully, it's the end of it. Other than this one, because they still have another scrum here that will be taking place. And New Zealand won't have any sleepless nights over this performance by England, says Morne Lagrange. God, I love you, says Tom Reed in there as well. And you also seem to love watermelon. That was a very good shout from whoever recommended the watermelon as a help for drinking. Another change being made. I think that's Pani now going off the field. We hardly actually saw him involved throughout this game, Lorenzo Pani, which will be a shame because I feel like Italy, their backline fired so well in the early stages of the match. They managed to get a few passes out wide. Nice inside ball to Tommaso Allen to lead to his try being scored. But now, Danny Kerr. What about feeding that ball in, and the penalty goes the way of the Italian scrum. And that was against the feed as well. A very impressive time to win it. Spagnolo. He's got the penalty. It's going to be put into touch. Do you eat watermelon, Hamish? Sometimes, although one time in New Zealand, only like 6 months ago, a watermelon would be $50. So I didn't have a lot of it then. In fact, I had none of it then. But, you know, one little slice is all right. And come on, the spaghetti lovers. Get those English gummy bears. Says Hayden. And haven't been happy in this long. Swear you just spread positivity without trying. Says Tom Reed. I appreciate that. At the end of the day, like I always say, like these live streams, yes, we love commentating a game, but it's also awesome being able to meet so many of you guys and chat on a regular basis. Like we're doing the cricket hauler tomorrow. We got the Wales versus Scotland game. Watermelon like $10 in the US, or sorry, in Australia, says Tom. Now they have got a scrum half. Spagnolo does decide to fill that role just for now. And the big run forward, come on forward, into top gear, get out of here. Let's win these, or let's win this, bombies, says Ruth. Off to the right-hand side again here for the Italians. 70 minutes in, they've got 10 minutes to get 10 points. To bring it back to a draw. 2 tries would win it for them from here as long as one is converted. That was Ruza. That's his first run I think we've seen of this match. Great quick hands from the Italians. The backline now starting to open up inside. Ball from Tommaso Allen. Just needed the next pass on the outside, but they didn't get it. I was stream the say this game, lad. Come on now, please. Says Blues Nate. I'll be honest, it's a very hard decision in terms of what game to stream, but we will keep you updated with what's happening in that Munster game in terms of who's scoring and whatnot. I was actually thinking about doing a post-match like replay stream. That's the penalty to England on the 22. I wanted to shower, but my sponge was a watermelon. I said that in the whitest way possible, Gareth. I do apologise. A quick try. Crowd gets behind them. Anything is possible, says Stephen. Vroom, 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 English. And they make helmets with watermelon. It is pretty cool when you put on, says Mornay. Ellie currently $41. You reckon I take it? Tom, you are drunk, so no. Because you will wake up in the morning and go, where did all my money go? And I need Marmite, halloumi cheese, ham, butter, in a croissant sandwich before Scotland play. That sounds really good. Now I'm even more hungry. You guys will hear my stomach rumbling soon. It's just a very nice backline. They needed the last pass here. If he had found the offload, they would have been through. Okay, I'll listen to you. Good call. And what is Scotland? Says Crumpets. They are playing up against Wales in the next game. And post-match of Satyrs versus Munster. Munster to win. Says Blues name knocked on by England. And the drop in the ball bug has been caught by the English right near the end. Now 7 minutes left. 10 points still the difference. Have a ham sando for breakfast, says Gus. I don't know if I've got any ham. I think I've got chicken in there, so could be an option. Another change. Zimbonian making his way onto the field. And that is going to be for Federico Ruza. Zambonin, I should say. Watermelon, $3. In South Africa, says Miminia. Love me some watermelons. Watermelons. Even better, chilled plums. And also, I should have taken it, says Tom. Well, that's the thing with gambling. Of course, there's always times that it seems like, yeah, I could have. But if England win a penalty here, then you would have probably lost your money, you see. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. I don't see Italy going on to win this game from here. I can see them working their way towards a draw, though, as a possibility. Jumping in at the end. How's all? Or how's it all? Good to see you, Hamish. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Red. You've been enjoying 2024. I can't believe we're already in the second month. I feel like this year's almost gone. How did you sleep through the week? Terribly. I think I managed hardly any hours most nights, which is not good because now for this weekend we're going to be doing a lot of streaming and not much sleeping, so I probably should have been more strategic with my time management during the week and tried to get a bit more sleep. Not long till Christmas, says Crumpets and I Amish bro, says Michelle. Welcome in, mate. And draw 126. That's it. Don't do it, Tom. Even though I considered it there for a second, don't do it. It'll get you in trouble. Now out wide. Nice run from the Italians. All it takes is one more English penalty and they will be out and away in this contest. Going back across to the left-hand side. Looks like there's an injury here. Oh, that's a high shot. From... Who was that? Oh, that's old mate Dingwall. No one's seen Dingwall all day. I don't even know what Dingwall looks like at this point. I think that was him. How many hours do you sleep a day? I mean, you should try and get 8, but lately I've been getting about 5 or 6, which isn't as good as it should be, but in the future we will get more. And yellow, says Josh. Yeah, it was high from, I think it was Dingwall. He's been learning how to tackle from Owen Farrell. It's got him in a little bit of trouble here. GG, England, congrats on the win. Right, here we go. They're going upstairs. TMO. I think that's the first time we're going to see the TMO involved in this match. And to be honest, it should have been involved earlier. Not for that. Johnny Wilkinson, the English go. Oh, they're showing Elliot Daly here. Oh, yeah, down the wing. No, Daly was... Oh, he's put the leg out. It's a foot trip from Elliot Daly. He did end up getting beaten, so he sticks the leg out to trip him. It's intentional. And this is actually going to be more than likely the yellow card for Elliot Daly. One of the more experienced players for England. And now they're going to be playing with 14 on the field for the last 5 minutes. And does anyone watch this without actually watching the game or just me? Says Tom. And I am Tom, says Mimineer. That kick from Elliot Daly, literally that kick, has led to England now being 14 men on the field. I thought it was for the high shot later on. Okay, the English commentator saying he can understand why it's a yellow, but he wouldn't see it as anything more than that. But now the last 5 minutes, England at a disadvantage. Cynical English cheating. And his head has 67% larger than his body for Will Carling. That ball is put into touch now. Chance for the Italians to make some history of their own. But they need 7 points here no matter what. And you're not red. So here's Gus and Alex Nankerville for Munster. Let's go. So here's Blues Nate. Now line out throw for Nicotera. England closing the gap at that line out. Should possibly have been a penalty against them, but it is going to be the Italians who still retain their ball. They've gone for the chip and chase. I'm not sure about that. It's nicely claimed by Freddie Stewart. There were 3 Italians chasing, but they didn't get the ball, although I think they were close to getting it back in that breakdown. That was not the time to go for the chip and chase, unfortunately. Yes, they wanted to try something unorthodox to see if they could catch the English off guard, but when you've got the numbers in the back line with your advantage of one man, you pass it through their hands and chuck it out wide. And can raise their game for bigger opponents. See his cool story, bro. It's going to be kicked downfield now from the English, and it does find the touchline. Another opportunity for Italy, but still only the 3.5 minutes remaining. The 3 men were there, and yes, if it had worked out, it could have been beautiful for them. But because Freddie Stewart was there, he shut it down completely. You should be the coach. I would be a terrible coach, I think. It's like I played cricket yesterday. And I was the captain, and I'm terrible at being captain because I don't make decisions. I'm too much of a people pleaser. So the good news is it was like a friendly game, so it worked out quite nicely. I managed to give everyone in our team a bowl, and everyone got a bat as well. But in terms of making decisions, I'm awful at it. In fact, the only person who wasn't going to bowl was myself because I wanted to make sure everyone else got more of a chance than me. He would be a terrible coach, says Grumpus. Yeah. Oh, ball's gone loose. Here comes the big man down the wing. Just into touch, though. And in the end for Chandler cutting himself. That is a name you might see a little bit more of in the future. You said you had to drive 30 minutes to get pizza. How was the pizza? I didn't actually end up getting it, sadly. Because there was a 30-minute drive there and a 30-minute drive back. Yeah, it was a bit of a shame that I didn't get it, but hopefully soon. We've got their last 3 games of cricket. Not 1 bowl and 1 run. You should be my captain, says Tom. And who do you play for, mate? I play indoor, says Gene. So it is just the local club. Like, it's nothing fancy or anything like that, but we do actually put a GoPro on our helmet, as well as a GoPro on the umpire. So if you guys want to see some of those videos, they are actually up on the channel. If you just search Kiwi Lads GoPro Cricket, you'll get to see them. There was one that I got a 50 in. I've also got a few more videos, about maybe 12, that still need to go up on the channel. Ethan Roots gets the Six Nations Player of the Match. So he's actually similar to Joe McCarthy, who got a Six Nations debut recently. Of course, and already had games during the World Cup. Irish is a good cricketer. I don't go bad. I'm all right. Italy should be very disappointed with this. If they can't win this game, they're in trouble, says Stephen. Currently 78 minutes through, and you have a feeling now that maybe Italy have just let this slip away. And what was a brilliant opportunity to get the win. Nice man. You're an opener or tailwind batsman, says Gene. I'm a bit of a weird one. You guys knew that. But I normally am either opener or top order. But then I also, like, if I'm captain, I bat myself way down the order so that everyone else gets a chance. Which, like, a lot of people would be, like, a bit confused about. But the grade that we play in is not, like, super professional. So, like, for me, it's more about giving everyone the chance to play and enjoy the cricket too. Similar to my, like, fielding. Like, I'm either a fielder or I'll be a wicket keeper, which I don't do too badly at, or I can bowl leg spin or off spin or medium pace. So I just do whatever I need to in a match pretty much. It's a pity you didn't get the pizza, by the way. What is your favourite pizza to eat? I love a cheese and chicken pizza from Pizza Hut. And it's not actually on their menu. You got to add add chicken to the plain cheese pizza. That's a good run forward from Benil. England chasing a try. And they get one, though. They've already got two. Oh, it's knocked on from Cutting himself, but they're going back for the penalty to England. They need the quick tap and go, I would say, or at least the line out. Momentum started going for Italy. Unfortunately, the old habits came back, so I'd park it up in the second half. Then grab it by the horns. Hamish, go for a club topside next season. I've had the offer of playing for them, but it's also more of the case of I have to make the decision of whether I want to play it for the competitive side of things or whether I want to stay in the grade that I am a part of and help the young players of the club, like, I guess, progress with their cricket. It's a big decision, but we'll see. See how it goes. Now, nice big run forward here, or nice rolling maul forward, I should say. For the English, they have got another penalty advantage. They're almost guaranteed a try here if they can get it right and just find that next pass. But England, they have had quite a defensive mindset throughout this game, so whether or not they can score a try when given the opportunity is a wait-and-see scenario. Philanthropist, Captain Chicken and Cheese, says Red Howl. Now off to the right-hand side. I'm selling my cricket bat now, says Eric. Going off to the left. That's going to be obstruction, I think. No, they're all right. No, it's going to be going back for the penalty. Double blow of the whistle. And I think this is almost going to be an Italian yellow card. Yep, here it is. Italian yellow card. And Italy are excellent, says Crumpus. It's going to actually be the Captain Lamaro who is going off the field now. Currently both sides with 14 on the field. Just trying to make the decision of what their plan is. They're going to take on the scrum now. Italy are excellent. Says Grumpers and KSC need to have pizza on their menu. Not necessarily. I feel like it's good having specific pizza places as well. Like KFC already do enough. The one that's closest to us don't do KFC well. So having an extra pizza in there would be very risky. KFC has pizza. We got it here. Drumstick pizza. There you go. You could learn advanced skills in top level. Bring it back to the beginners. Says Gus, that is true. Like, we played in the higher grade a couple weeks ago, and it was quite a good experience facing the quicker bowlers and just kind of getting a feel for it. Just threw up all that watermelon things, brother, says Tom. Brutal. At least you're hydrated. You'll have to drink more now. Not alcohol, but water, so that you rehydrate. The lost liquid penalty goes the way of Italy. They can still get within 7 here. I don't know how England haven't closed out this game. And my favourite pizza is meaty deluxe with chicken. That would be a La Carte order, Hamish. Says Mamania. Now it's going to be kicked in a touch from Italy. It is not the end of this game yet. Lamaro and Elliot Daly just having a conversation from the yellow card seats. Do y'all have 3-on-1s in Australia or New Zealand where it's KFC, Taco Bell and Pizza Hut on the same counter drive-through? We do not. Not that I know of anyway, where I am. We have like Pizza Hut, Domino's, KFC and McDonald's. They are always close together here. Like they're within like walking distance or literally side-by-side shops. But yeah, they all kind of have their own buildings. I can see South Africa losing to Australia and England this year by more than 5 points. And good win for the lads, good works. But Italy still one last attacking chance to get a bonus point in this game. Juan Inacio breaks. That's his first run of the second half. We've hardly seen that man. Now inside ball, Montejoani. Now space opening up out wide, staying in the field of play for Monticello. Nailed in the shot from cutting himself. Now Varney. Back from Spaniolo to Montejoani. Another offload coming. Big shot. Good defence from England. Cross kick. I hate this from the Italians. The fact that they've gone to the kick so often. Yes, the cross kick has almost worked here. But there were many times that they could have gone with a regular attack and would have had more success. I feel like if they just run the ball, that is where the danger is for the Italians. Now Spaniolo again has the ball in hand. Back across to this right-hand side. Montejoani. Great step from him. Gets back up to his feet. Can he find the next pass? He may not need to. Montejoani. He'll go all the way. And Italy will get the bonus point in this contest. They've scored more tries than England in the game. But they will still be defeated in the end. It's a nice way to close it out for the Italians to receive that bonus point. And Italy got a try, says Richard. They certainly did. And the match in the 83rd minute, it should end the match. Says Monin Lagrange. It's going to be a draw, should have bet. No, it's not, because that is now going to be full time. So you saved your money well, Tom. Good decision in the end. Montejoani, his first try of the Six Nations in 2024. We're to watch the Six Nations YouTube channel. We'll have the highlights of this contest, but depending on whereabouts you are in the world will depend on your watching options for live while pizza on the menu. Says Aiden, my guy. Says Tom there, but Montejoani scores the try for the Italians, which is still yet to come up. And Australia, second best team. Says, good story, bro. Yeah, unfortunately, Dingwall, the man who we've hardly seen today, also wasn't able to catch Montejoani. And no sacrifice for this match, or no Scarface for this match, says Blues Nate. Chance to make it only a 3-point contest between the two teams. Thanks for the content, Amish. Big hug for all the chat. Says Mikhail. And of course, we are going to be returning in only 20 minutes' time, ladies and gentlemen, for the next contest. That will be between Wales and Scotland. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The kick has gone over from Garbisi. So the score at the end of this game at full time, 27 points to 24. England get themselves the win, but it wasn't comfortable. Had to fight hard. And Italy, very impressive performance to only be down by 3. It's bad I go for the Windies in the test. And I'm Aussie, not really. I feel like everyone loves an underdog deep down. And that young group of players for the West Indies, I feel like a lot of people just fell in love with their passion for the game. Can I watch all the matches live on Netflix? Unfortunately, not. You are Soldier Mate staying up so late, says Salah, and we have got plenty more coming, of course. Like I mentioned, the next Six Nations game, then I get 2 hours of sleep, and then we are covering the test match in the cricket between New Zealand and South Africa, followed then after another 2-hour break, we will be covering the ODI match between the West Indies and Australia as well. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I said, we are going to be back in 20 minutes time. Cheers for being here, and we will see you all for the next one.